This cute little critter is a rock hyrax, better known as a Dassie. And while it might look like a cross between a rat and a rabbit, it is neither. Incredibly, and despite the enormous difference in size, a Dassie's closest relative is actually the African elephant. Helen Payne is a zoologist and an expert on these delightful creatures.
You can look at the teeth of the Dassie and the teeth of an elephant, and they have similar cone structures, which no other mammals have.
Scientists believe the elephant and the Dassie have the same evolutionary descendants, not only because of their teeth, but because they have similar looking feet. Both are padded, with stumpy toes and hoof-like nails. And while they may not be as majestic as their distant elephant cousins, being little has its advantages. The Dassie has become an expert in urban living, squeezing into all kinds of small city spaces.
There's two reasons why you find Dassies in urban areas, and one of them is that people have moved into the spaces that Dassies used to occupy. And the second reason is that urban areas tend to provide lots of places for them to breed.
This family of Dassies from Kloof in Durban have made a stormwater drain their home. They are adored by local residents who have put up these signs to warn motorists to slow down when approaching the Dassies' digs. Up to 95% of their day is used to laze around in the sun. They are unable to regulate their body temperature very well, which means, just like reptiles, they have to sun themselves to get warm.
The Dassies are really social creatures. It's mostly the young females that stay in the groups for their whole lives, and occasionally males will leave the troops to go and form colonies elsewhere.
He says urban Dassies have lost many of their natural predators, like the Varroa and crowned eagles, as well as leopards and caracals. The biggest threat now is ongoing development. Debbie Gardiner runs a preschool in Kloof. She says a Dassie family moved into the bottom of her garden a few years ago.
I think they've come from the Paradise Valley Nature Reserve, which is just down the road from me. They are building an eco-estate there, and with all the cars, the vehicles, the building, the comings, the going, people there the whole time, I think that this has disturbed their natural environment and habitat, and they've moved across here and made their home in my garden.
She's taken the opportunity to teach the children about the animals and to have respect for wildlife.
The Dassies have got fairly tame, and the children know this because they will come quite close, but I do let them know that they're not allowed to touch or try and catch them or run after them.
The rock hyrax is found across Africa and the Middle East and prefers rocky areas.
Although Dassies have these tiny little stumpy legs, they're designed to be very nimble on rocks, which makes them perfect for moving into heavily treed areas in cities, for example, which is why they often set up colonies in trees with lots of vines in them.
Which is why many colonies are found in riverine forests in the hills around Durban. Warren Friedman lives in Westville. He says his garden is close to 100% indigenous and believes this is why 2 Dassie families have set up home there.
Their whole life we spent here. All the drama that they have occurs in our garden, and it's wonderful to have.
Dassies are very particular about where they defecate and will set up a latrine in an area, away from where they live.
If they do happen to make a mess on the veranda, which is one of their favourite latrines, it's just a matter of a hose pipe, and it washes it away. It goes into the garden, it's fertilizer.
Daily life for the Dassies in Warren's garden means getting on with a peculiar extended family of vervet monkeys.
They're aggressive when they're defending the colony from a predator, but to most mammals they're pretty inoffensive.
The monkeys and Dassies regularly raid Warren's organic compost heap.
I have a philosophy that if the garden isn't being eaten, there's something wrong.
They primarily eat grass and forage herbs, whatever they can find within a short distance of the colony. Mostly leaves, sometimes fruits, seeds, whatever they can get hold of, and occasionally insects to supplement their diet.
So if you want Dassies in your yard, take a leaf out of Warren's book, plant a thoroughly indigenous garden, share the fruits of your labor with them, and one day, just maybe, when you go down to the bottom of your garden, you'll be in for a big surprise.